Get you back. So anyway, but yeah, that's keeping up with the Bidens, y'all, and we'll see how this. I know this year ain't gonna end right, but
garbage and sanitation worker. No, they want to live in big houses that they see on videos.
You know, my thing is, I thought it was funny because it was the caller that did it, but at the end of the day, it's when you're a public figure,
that the whole thing makes me sick to my stomach.
You know what I'm saying? 99.9% of the time, I love living in this, country that we're free and we have this freedom of speech. But every now and then,
yeah, when
she
man,
did
listen,
the
brother, if she could turn back the hands of time, Doc, ain't no Dave Chappelle, I'll tell you that.
And so you need to be put out and put on notice. The hell no.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday.
Thank you, Riri. Mic test 1 2. I fixed that thing today. Watch that. And yeah. Hey, it's Monday. I ain't seen y'all in 7 days. What up? Y'all, I'm excited, y'all. We have so much to talk about. And listen, although we're gonna have a little fun today, we got we got to call a meeting to the family today because there's some serious things that these folk need to hear from us about, and we're gonna talk about it. So I'm not gonna waste time. Madam, can you bring the family on? For those that don't know, we have the best morning show that you can watch at night with Lee Black, Brother Kenny, and Madam Devin Devine. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening.
Evening, sir.
Hey, Tammy, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, and the power behind the hour and a half today, maybe, is Miss Brittany. Thank you so much. Y'all, I'm excited to talk to y'all today because, oh my goodness, there is plenty to talk about. So I will not ramble much, maybe. I'm going to try to be a good preacher and just have one closing today. All right. Thank you. We're keeping up with politics today. So just real quickly, I want to shout out to Donald. He's already running for president again, although he has 2 years before we get there. But I understand he has legal implications that he would not like to partake of. So, so he's choosing to go ahead and do that early. And then Sister Nancy, Sister Pelosi, she's no longer leading in her role. Well, she lost anyway, but she's going to step down from even being the minority leader. And apparently they're going to endorse a brother. I think he's from New York.
Yeah, he is. Jeffries, I believe is his name.
Yeah, Jeffries. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and then they're going to put a Hispanic and a woman, which a woman just left, so I really didn't get that point. But yeah, and so they're doing that. And so they've put Donald back on Twitter. They just did a special investigator now for all the foolishness. Bama girl, what up?
What's up, Bama girl?
Good to see you. Thank you for joining
Always
us.
A pleasure.
So it's a lot going on in politics. But that's where we really go. Did I miss anything, y'all, that is really worth talking about?
Nah, you hit the highlights.
Yeah.
Or the lowlights.
Yeah, the Georgia y'all. We definitely officially doing the runoff for you guys.
Yeah,
so.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But other than that, it really don't matter. Herschel ain't gonna win now. And white folks said there's no reason to come vote now because we already got the Senate. I mean, the Democrats already have the Senate. So that's what that's gonna be. So all right, that's keeping up with politics, y'all. We got a lot to talk about, so I gotta keep it moving. Yes, listen, kids. What did you learn today? I ask my son that every day he comes home from school. And I wish I would ever hear my son learn something that I'm finna share with today. If I ever hear that my child has learned this from his teacher, I'm gonna have a fit. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to a white male teacher. I don't know if his name. Do y'all remember his name? I don't remember his name. But I don't remember his name. But apparently, this gentleman, he almost looked like he was teaching home ec or something. I don't know what he was teaching. But apparently, the video shows that he is letting the kids know that he believes that his race is more superior than the black kids that was in his class. And so the kids took out their phones like they do, And one of them said, "Say it again."
Got him.
If y'all hear the video, you hear one of the kids get the video and say, he said, "Now say that one more time." That young man knew what time it was. So the white Caucasian teacher told him that he believes that his race superior and that this is how he tried to spin it. Well, we all have prejudice in us. We all have a little bit of prejudice in us, so it's normal. Devin, should your kids ever come home and tell you that their teacher told them that he was a white supremacist?
Oh, I remember. I mean, I don't live there no more, but I remember my son came home once when Obama was running and said that his teacher told him that Obama was trash and had all these horrible things, and he was probably like 4 or 5 years old. So we did a quick Uno reverse back to that school and raised hell, and the next day the owner and his wife had just disappeared. I don't know what. So I've dealt with it before. So yeah.
I think we all have, we all will, and again, you just have to make sure that you prepare to do the right thing. I know my youngest son, some fool stabbed him with some scissors, and I tell you, I got a praying mama. I got a praying mama because I went to eat lunch with my son the very next day, and I just contemplated a few things. But yeah, what'd you say, Brittany? But is there some truth to his point? Everyone thinks their race is superior. I don't think my race is superior. Matter of fact, they remind me of that every time I go to work. My race is not superior. Right? Every time I look at the news and I see the justice system working for the other folks, they remind me that but I understand what you're saying, but it's a fool to say something out loud what you should be thinking. I mean, Kenny, how do we see this moment?
It's another moment where an idiot didn't realize. I mean, actually, he wanted them to know it, but he probably didn't realize that it was going to be blasted all over social media. You got to be careful what you say in front of folks. But I'm glad he was exposed. You know, we don't need that kind of thinking, that type of person in schools. And then, you know, they up in arms about teaching critical race theory. Well, this is a real reason why you need to teach. You need to teach that, because you got these idiots that's in classes talking to kids. And to kind of answer what Brittany says about, I think we all do have a little bit of prejudice in us, but I think that's. It just depends on a lot of the situation. Now, listen, I'm black, and James Brown made a song, "Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud." That's not talking about us being superior, but that's just being proud of who you are and where you come from. So yeah, I don't know if I wouldn't say I feel like I'm superior, but I'm proud of being black.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Demi, for sharing the live. I sure appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
We'd love to have
appreciate that.
Black, I'm gonna tell you something. This man is from Texas, and he was talking to some middle school kids, so you know they're already ignorant. But what the cocktail for me is, he's in Texas. He's just speaking on behalf of his privilege, that he felt no fear of anything, any repercussions about him making this statement. Where you at with this?
I'm okay with it. I'm of the mindset where Brittany is. I'm glad the scab is being pulled off.
Hey, Linda.
The reality is, the world we live in now, everything is so immediate because of social media and the access of technology. You know, in my day, we didn't have phones in classrooms. You know, even when I was teaching in undergrad, I would make kids put their phone up, but I was on the precipice of this. Where we are now is everything is captured, and I think it's a good thing. He felt proud enough to state that, but I like the fact that he did it. I like knowing where I stand with people, and I got news for folks out there. He's not saying anything that's not the truth. The elections just proved it. Our last few elections have been the most polarizing that we've ever seen in our history. And even though this great country of ours, we elected an African-American leader, what happened behind it? It ushered in the likes of a Donald Trump. You know why? Because he was able to expose the underbelly of what we really are, that we'll say all of the niceties, that, hey, we've come a long way. And it's time we have a woman president. And it's great we have African American representation, but when that curtain closed, people are who they are. And I've discovered that even as I've become older, I embrace my levels of racism. I do think we're superior. I think African American culture drives this entire world. It's born out on TikTok and Black Twitter and everything else. But we've been misappropriated to the point where we don't understand our own power. But if you asking me, do I think you damn right I do. Now, I don't think it to the degree that I think we ought to enslave anybody, nothing like that. But as I walk around as an African American male, you damn right I think I'm better.
I hear you, Black, and I agree with what you 100%. But I want to say this. I mostly appreciate him. I'm talking about that middle school teacher. To for the simple fact is, I'm more scared of those that's acting like they not, versus the ones that's willing to say it in public.
Yeah.
Because there's more of them that are like him that are teaching our kids.
Right.
And their biasness and the way they want to say things to make our kids come home and say things, and they're like, no, that ain't true. Don't. Where do you get that from? So I'm more afraid of the teachers who act like they not. That's a bigger issue. So I wish more of them were, because then you know where you stand with folks. And then, but again, I know people don't understand what I mean when I say white people don't like to be embarrassed. I heard a man tell me nobody likes to be embarrassed. I said, yeah, but it's a different when you embarrass a white person, because there's a different sense. They take pride in not being put out there. Black folks, we deal with it all the time, but them, they take it a little bit different than we do, because they have something about their reputation, or they like to look a certain type of way. But that's just me. So
did they fire this teacher? Was he?
100.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he got
well, he'll probably end up teaching
at another middle school. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
just like cops that kill minorities, they end up getting a job somewhere else. So we'll see where he end up.
100%. Bam would say it only takes one bad apple to spoil the whole bunch. I understand you, Lee. But Benedict Donald made it. He did, right?
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, he did.
He made it more comfortable for them, and I like it, because I need to know who my opponent is.
I need to know who my enemy is.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Let me know where you
Show
stand.
me my opponent. Yeah.
I'm with
Hey,
that.
Miss Linda Gully, thank you for joining us. Is this your first time? I hadn't seen you before, but thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Miss Linda.
All right, y'all. What'd you say? You know her, then? Oh, you just need. Okay. All right. Well, let's keep it moving, y'all. We got plenty to talk about, and I got a lot more to say. Where is the meat? Y'all remember that old white lady talking about where the beef?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, she taking a dirt nap now.
You look like you gave that white lady beef. Did you give her? Oh, you was jumping up and down. I didn't know.
Just like Arby's, we have the beef.
We have the meats. Yeah. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I appreciate you joining us. Let us know what you think about the show, please, by all means.
Yeah.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Now, this is where we're headed as a country, or even as a world. The FDA has finally approved a lab-grown meat. Any of y'all vegetarians?
I'm thinking about going that. I'm thinking about going that route though.
Well, it look like they're gonna make it. So it says in the first step towards cultivated meat reaching dinner tables and restaurant menus, regulators said that a startup company's chicken was safe to eat. The FDA, which is the Food and Drug Administration, has cleared a California company, Slaughter Free, that's the name of the company, chicken, putting lab-grown meat one step closer to restaurant menus and grocery store shelves in the United States. On Wednesday afternoon, the agency said it had completed an evaluation of chicken from the company, Upsize Food, and had no further questions about the product's safety, signaling that the agency considered it safe for consumption. Kenny? You gonna try it? Now listen, they failed with this. What did Burger King have? The impossible.
Impossible. Yeah,
it's impossible to eat. I think that's what they said. So, I mean, Kenny, where we going, man? It's enough pigs and chickens in the world.
Man, they already injecting these animals with all kind of different chemicals anyway, just the regular meat. But now you're gonna make you going in science class and gonna make some meat. I will pass on that. And again, that is making me seriously think about just moving away from meat anyway, and just really maybe just doing fish and maybe just doing plant-based stuff. Because I ain't doing I ain't doing that meat they getting ready to make up in the laboratory. No, I'm good on that.
Now I will agree with Brittany. She's saying that they have. Listen, that chicken breast today ain't what that chicken breast was. My mama put on the table 20 years ago.
Right.
I just say it got real big. You know what I'm saying? Them thighs got real. I mean, everybody got bigger. You know, you would. I looked at when I used to 10 years ago. I used to get my chicken from the butcher versus from getting it from the store. And when I seen the chicken that they would give me, I said, "Hey, I don't want Cornish hen. I said, I want chicken." He said, "It is." He said, "It is chicken.
That is the real chicken." Right.
He said, "Y'all so used to that those antibiotics, those big Popeyes and KFC chicken breasts, all of them, man. I mean, sister,
you're right, Brittany.
You gonna eat that meat?"
I'm what you call like a closet vegetarian. Like I'm that person who does not have to eat meat at all. Like, and when I do, I go days like trying to like drink a bunch of water, trying to detox myself. Because when you go a long period of time without eating meat, believe it or not, when you actually eat it, you feel like heavy and sluggish, and you just feel like crap. And we've been eating lab-grown foods, just FYI, for the longest. The other day, I got something called an orange or a peach kiwi or something like that. They lab-grow your broccoli now. Y'all ain't never seen nobody pull broccolini out their garden. They've been lab-growing our vegetables and fruits and things of that nature, but they never talk about it. And I think now that since someone is talking about it, then you're like, But you eat so many things that are lab-grown. Just go around the produce section and look at these things that don't make no sense. Who growing cotton candy grapes in their backyard? I mean,
yeah, right. Yeah, that's true.
I could easily thank you, Brittany. Hey, girl. But no, I could easily be a vegetarian because it's not that big a deal to me. It's just hard to find something to eat sometimes, but that's
okay. So you're right, because I don't think kids know even what in season and out of season fruit and vegetables are, right? They don't even know.
No, they don't.
Yeah, because now they're growing. I mean, even if you look at the way bananas are being imported, America wasn't growing bananas, but apparently they stay green in the stove. But as soon as they get to your car trunk, they already almost brown now. So it's just it's foolery. I mean, Black. Listen, I know life, death is at your doorstep, and you don't care. So I can only imagine what you finna say.
I'm working on my health as we speak.
Oh, are you?
You know,
good. All right.
Congratulations, brother.
Literally, I'm on Ozempic now, so I'm injecting something in my fat belly to try to get under control. Having said that, look at Devin and look at me and ask me, am I going to eat that damn meat? You damn right I'm going to eat that meat. You know? You know good and goddamn I'm gonna eat that meat. The truth of the matter is we've been eating it already anyway. This is spoken like a healthy, beautiful woman, and look at me. You damn right I'm eating that meat, but we've already been eating anyway. The truth of the matter is when you eat McDonald's, chicken McNuggets, that stuff is not even biodegradable. It's been proven. Right. And the reality is this is about money. The reason why the Whopper failed is because we as Americans, we are a nation of people that don't want to know how the sausage is made.
Yes, sir.
Other countries are okay with it. In China, they've already figured out what they've been serving us in these Chinese restaurants. What we think is rice is plastic pellets. It's been proven. Not to mention the fact that some of our favorite dishes is cats and rats. I had me some rat last night. I'm going to eat the rest of it tonight. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. This is where we at, folks. Now, having said that, when the FDA gets involved, it's because money is involved, and you might as well sanction it.
Yeah.
Why do you think marijuana is finally legalized? It's because once something becomes so prevalent, hey, we might as well get in on it too. But like Devin said, we don't want to hear about it. Americans love to have their ears closed and their eyes covered, and we don't want to know how the sausage is made. but we'll eat a dirty doorknob if you sell it on freaking the right channel. That's America for you.
What's this rat you got that you gonna finish, bro?
You know, come on now. You eat a shrimp broccoli and garlic sauce, and Mongolian beef. That ain't no damn beef.
That's
This
a
is
dog.
rats on a stick and dogs and stuff. We've been eating this stuff, but I love it.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh,
Listen,
boy.
y'all know who he is, so we ain't gonna even argue about his point. So, all I can say is, you're right. If you even look at the ingredients on most of the foods that you eat now, after you get past the first two things, you couldn't even recite the words that are in those packages. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Water. I mean, even water got more than just water in it. Let me see the ingredients: pure water, chloride, sodium, bicarbonate. I know that magnesiums. Okay, that's all natural things that's in your body, but again, still, it's more than water. So right. I just want us to know that we are heading to Demolition Man faster than I ever thought, which at Wesley Snipes movie. But
and that meat probably gonna be expensive, so I ain't gonna be able to afford it anyway because I'm sure it's gonna cost. They're making that in a laboratory. So
I disagree.
Oh, you think it's gonna be cheap?
I disagree. There's more people on the natural resources are being used up. It's too many people. Now, a bigger conversation we need to have is why is the richest billionaires fumbling around in Africa when we were dealing with COVID? They are looking for ways to kill off people. Did it bother anybody that for damn near a year straight, everything we saw on TV was talking about COVID? The election came, it stopped in the same day. The same day.
Yes, we would have to talk about this on another day. You're right.
Population control.
No, I hear you. You're right. That's why they want us to have a dictator, so you can just give them some of that Kim Jong-un. You know what I'm saying? She said, I do eat meat, but I've never eaten Chinese food. Okay.
They gonna get y'all with that meat. They gonna stick the word organic on it. And y'all gonna buy it out.
I'm telling you, it'll be mass produced. Yeah, so it's literally pretty inexpensive. I will say this, and I wanna bust my Black Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters that don't eat pork. I want y'all to know, every time y'all use that toothpaste in y'all mouth, y'all eating pork, just because it's made with pork.
That's right.
I'll just say it's really funny when y'all find out some of y'all eating pork and some of y'all eating tennis shoe leather. You just never know what you're eating, so just be careful out there. Anyway,
just pray over it before you put it in your mouth and keep it moving like we always do.
Listen, I would take it. I would take a hard left, but I ain't gonna worry about it.
I thought about it too. I pray over all the legs I eat, but okay, go ahead.
Oh boy.
Let's move on. You could be one. I don't eat toothpaste. No. Ain't nobody say I ate toothpaste. I'm talking about. You know what? Let's move on. Thank you, Lee. I'm praying for her too. Lord have mercy. All right, what we got? All right, now it's about that time, brother Kenny.
What up?
What's going on in the world of sports, my brother?
I will try to get us. Mike check. Hey, make sure we ain't got no sound effects. I see you waving down there, Devin. I see you. I'm gonna come to you in a second. I just want to make sure that the brother up there at the top, make sure he ain't got no sound effects this week. Good. Right now, we got the 49ers leading the Cardinals 14-10 on Monday Night Football, and then I gotta address this lady. This the lady of the crew down here. Yeah. Your Cowboys put it on them Vikings yesterday. I, as much as it pains me to say this, I had to root for them yesterday because my Packers need at least a glimmer of hope. So we need the Vikings to lose, and thank goodness the Cowboys came through for us. And that's the first time I can ever say the Cowboys never came through, because they're gonna do some Cowboy-ish after this. So enjoy this win.
Let us embrace this moment because it's coming.
I was going to say, David, I'm going to let you enjoy this win, and then we're going to get back to regularly scheduled programming next week after Thursday. Okay. So we're talking about high school recruiting. You know, it's football season. A lot of states now are in their playoff run, and we got this quarterback out of Bama Girl. So, yay, Devin. All right, Bama Girl. Oh, okay. Yeah, and she's an Alabama fan too, so I know you probably kind of feeling some type of way too, Bama girl. But anyway, I didn't want to take a hard left. Let me continue. We're talking about high school recruiting. This Florida quarterback out of senior quarterback out of Florida by the name of Marcus Stokes. He had his scholarship offer to the University of Florida revoked because of something that appeared on his social media. He was in his vehicle. He was singing and rapping to a rap song, and he said a racial slur. It's lyrics to the song, and he was doing his thing. University of Florida got a hold to that, and they decided to revoke his scholarship. Brother Black, did the University of Florida go too far? You hear me, Black? You there?
Oh, you froze a little bit, so I missed that part.
Okay,
you froze on the part. You say you was listening to it.
It ain't me all the time.
On my screen.
Yeah. He was listening to this rap song, and it was online, and there's a racial slur that he repeated because he was just doing the lyrics. Well, the University of Florida decided to revoke their scholarship offer. Did the University of Florida go too far?
For me, yes. I think I've been saying this. We've gone down a slippery slope to where we have sanitized language and in such a way now that the collective, the cancel culture society, and the way we speak about topics, it's to our detriment. It's music, it's art. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there isn't power in words and things like that, but I'm looking at the context. And so if he's in his vehicle and he's jamming to his song, but when we get to a point where we're sanitizing words that we don't think are right as a university because they don't fit within our narrative, but these are also words that we hear on campus every day, all day, that we call each other, that the way they speak to one another, but because of the way it appears, and so that what we are caving is to the pressure, from the outside looking in, because they're afraid to lose money and sponsors and things of that nature. And so for me, we've gone way too far for me. And I think it's made us worse as a country, worse as a people. I think that's why we don't know how to speak to each other, because we're so afraid of offending one another with every little thing. I come from a place where every bad word that come out doesn't mean it needs to be sanitized. It toughened me up. It made me who I am. And so for this guy to lose his scholarship because of that, for me, it went too far.
Okay, Miss Devin. Now let me tell you that the athlete is white, so just to let you know his ethnicity. Miss Devin, do you think this would have been different if the player would have been black?
Well, obviously, yeah, because like there's some words that black people can say, there's some words that gay people can say. There's, I think that's just kind of how that goes. And I think the only reason the university did it, let's be honest, is because it probably got out to social media. A lot of people heard about it.
Yeah, that's where they found it. Yeah, it was on social media.
And there would have been all this hubbub and chaos and media attention and XYZ in relation to it. But I think if whoever the dean of the college or whoever is just kind of heard about it, hush hush, he would have gone to the kid and say, hey, don't be behaving like that. Or told the coach, talk to your boy, because because if this was to get out, we'd have to reprimand him or whatever. So I think it's just now there's this huge fear of businesses and things like that, of backlash if they don't quickly address things, because it can get out of control and put it in, and shine a negative light on their particular business. So do I think that was a lot? Yes. And yes, of course, there is a double standard, but I get why they were doing it. They were protecting their investment, protecting themselves from any negativity. I don't think they care.
Right. Well, brother Brenton, do these kids not understand how influential and how bad social media and good it can be at the same time? This young quarterback, obviously this scholarship was revoked. He's already got other offers. So again, I think the young man is still going to be able to go play college football somewhere. But do these young athletes not understand how social media can really affect something?
Not at all, because over here this is, being an influencer is taking on a mind of its own now in this upcoming generation, Z, I think, and I don't know what's after Z. But here's the problem: you have to know what you signed up for. And that's the problem that a lot of young people don't understand. They don't understand the terms and conditions behind their leadership role or whatever. We say sometimes the public has too much influence on decision. Well, I'm gonna tell you like this: the internet for me, for young people, is like giving a 8-year-old the keys to a vehicle. That's the problem with the internet, because the kids think they are so intelligent only because they can engine search whatever they want. See, we've earned our intellect. All right. I don't want to start preaching, but they haven't earned their wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Am I making sense when I say
that? Right.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't earn the wisdom. They cheated. They've been cheating for a long time, and wisdom is not given. See, they've been spoiled by search engines. We've earned our wisdom. Why? Because we got the scars to prove it, right? We have the moments of endurance that we've had, right? Knowing he can't drive. Thank you, Miss London. That's exactly my point, right? So they don't know that they stupid. Okay, we can talk about it. They don't know. They don't know that they don't know. That's why, listen, I mean, and my kids think I'm the hardest man in the world, but I'm trying to tell y'all ain't earned your intelligence.
Yeah,
beautiful.
I got one of my kids that say, cheat, don't repeat. Well, okay.
Can I also say, because I've been that auntie at football games and things like that, I've seen a group of kids of all races, because sometimes that Z generation, they are groups of kids, and they all were using the N word and carrying on. And I had to say, please don't use that word around me on in your spare time. But the little black kids and the brown kids with the white kids, they weren't offended by it. They use it like the same way they do bras, homegirl,
they do.
Word. They weren't offended by that.
Because they haven't they have no clue. And fair enough. But again, when I tell you don't know something, just shut up and accept it, because you ain't earned it. Because if I don't let, okay, again, I don't want to jump on this like this. Again, they got to earn this wisdom. They got to earn their intelligence. Work hard for it. Because when you don't work hard for it, you won't appreciate it. Because the moment whoever's upstairs running the show takes away the internet, takes away Google, you're walking around here like dumb sheep. Yep. My child won't even go to Chick-fil-A without putting it in her GPS. What? Are you kidding me? Okay. All right, that's where I'm at, Doc.
Yeah. So that's what it is. Again, this young man's name is Maurice Stokes. Again, did he screw up with this one? Yeah. The Herman Epp was one of the great coaches. Always, he had 3 words he would tell these young cats: don't hit send. Or in this case, do not post. So always be mindful of your social media presence, young folks. And before I get out of here, Thanksgiving is Thursday. We got 3 games coming up. Bills at Lions, the early game. The Giants at the Cowboys, the middle game on Fox 3:30. And the late night game is the Patriots at the Vikings, 7:20 NBC. Miss Devin, I hope you don't get a turkey on Thursday. So anyway, back to you, Brenton.
Thank you, my brother. And just quickly, ladies and gentlemen, again, he's a white quarterback. That's why he's going to land on his feet.
Well, there you go. That's that WP. Ain't that what we call it?
Again, I just want you to know what you signed up for. And that's just all I'm trying to tell you. All right, we'll move on, because I really got stuff to talk about. That's unfortunate. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about right here. What you say, Lee, this show gets so organic, it ain't even funny. Right?
Always.
All right, let's run this video, y'all. We're going to talk about this little girl.
Ooh.
But Dad, please know that while I am grateful and highly aware of all that you've given this family, I still don't miss you. When you died, I felt like there was a hole. I missed something, but it wasn't you. It was the idea of what you could become. I missed being able to hope and wish that one day you'd turn a corner and see the world from my perspective. I missed the idea that one day you might help me fight for the things that matter. I missed my fantasy of you. Because when you died, it solidified the fact that you'll never be what you could have been, but only what you are. And what you are is a racist, misogynistic, xenophobic, Trump-loving, cis-straight white man. That is all you will ever be to me. And Dad, before you tell me to respect the dead, please remember that you disrespected and disregarded the lives and deaths of entire communities of people with your ideology. You told me to never back down, so I won't. You know for a fact that even against you, I'm not afraid to share my peace. You are everything I aspire not to be, and I refuse to stand up here and sing the praises of a man who is the paradigm of white supremacy. So I'll take your racist mindset, I'll take your money, and I'll take your advice. And I swear to God I will make this world a better place, not at all because of you, but in exact opposition to you.
I don't know where to start. I don't have a problem with anyone wanting to share their truth, but you better be ready for the whatever comes, whatever decision you make in life. And again, for me, this is hypocrisy. Only because people, yeah, for real, only because people, they don't realize what you put out here 20 years from now, when your mind has changed, when your perspective has changed, when your heart is no longer bitter towards whoever you're talking to, somebody will go find your past and put it right back in your face. So before I give my thoughts, ma'am, I look like you should raise your hand anyway. So just to give clarity, this is a young lady talking about he has to be white. Maybe
Her
not
father.
white.
It was her father.
Yeah, it was her father, but I don't know if he was white or black.
Probably white.
I don't know, because but at the same time, they call it a eulogy. I think she was just up having words, and she spoke about how she really felt about her dad, and she did it in a public forum. So she's mixed. Okay, so yeah, it may be. So
Okay.
I mean, Miss Devin, how do you perceive what you heard?
I have mixed feelings. On one end, I think if her dad was trash, it's okay for her to acknowledge that her dad was trash. But then I have to think about my own adult children who don't agree with a lot of things about me in a lot of ways and views that I feel, because what I always tell my kids is my money comes with my mouth. And if you don't agree with me and you want to disrespect me or talk bad about me to your friends or in the public, I ain't got no problem with that, but don't ask me for nothing. And so so it's okay that she feels a certain way against her dad, because if he truly was a white supremacist and all these horrible things, I don't think that was the platform for it. But she looks very young. She sounds very young. She could easily be cut off by everybody. And then what's she gonna do? Because I saw that most Generation Z folks, they have an inspiration to be an influencer, and you might not be a billionaire off of that. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings. If he was trash, he's trash. But I almost wish young people would think about the consequences of some of the things they do, because they don't think ahead. They don't think about next week, next month, next year. She's just in a moment.
Yeah, that's a problem, right? Again, not earning your wisdom. Lee, you said something, and I want to bring this to you. You said something that triggered this thought for me. You were very proud of the Black Panther movie because the producer highlighted the antagonist and not the enemy. See, that white billionaire that my boy Lamar is talking about, that man has a backstory. Everybody has a backstory. Jeffrey Dahmer has a backstory. Hitler has a backstory. Everybody has a backstory. So my thing is, you really have to be careful and treat, every situation with, again, in the Bible, it talks about being zealous without wisdom is dangerous. And what we just saw is a very zealous young lady that's really not using a lot of wisdom, but I get it. Have your moment. Black, where you go with this?
I'm going to respectfully disagree with you. In principle, I agree with everything you're saying. I really and truly do. And again, if I didn't even know the context of what was happening there, I thought it was powerful, number one. So that's how it hit me. She spoke very eloquent She was articulate, and of course, she's young. And I love the points you made about that. Where will you be 10 years from now, 15, 20 years from now, because that's going to come back on you. Now, having said that, though, something moved her to be able to get up in front of her peers and to talk in that way. And listen to what one thing she said that caught my attention. She said, I'm going to use your money, I'm going to use your name, and I'm going to do everything in my power to be the opposite of you. I admire that. And maybe from where I sit, I'm coming from a place that I don't know what a father is. I was raised without a father. I have no concept whatsoever what a father is. None. And so for me, if this young lady has experienced a life up until her young life at this point, you're right. She doesn't have the wisdom. But if it moved her to be able to stand out on her own and be an individual and say something that probably is not popular, but if it drives her to be a better person, I'm all for it, because I can sit here and tell you unequivocally, I am who I am because I wasn't raised with a father. And so for me, whatever Mr. Fred Moore stands for out there, wherever he's at, I want it to be the opposite of that. I want it to be the antithesis of that. And so for me, I've done everything in my power to be a man who stands there and doesn't run away from situations and faces whatever comes my way. And even though I have a knuckleheaded son who disagrees with me on so many different levels, but one thing I refuse to ever give him the power to say is that I wasn't there. And on top of that, I stand on my principles all the way, to the point that you know exactly where I'm coming from. I don't bend on them. This is who I am. And in time, whether you agree with me now, you're going to always be able to look back at that old faithful rock that I know what my dad believes. I know what he stands for, and I'm not bending there. I love you. You know what I'm saying? But we're not friends. I'm your father. Mm-hmm. And so I respect the young lady in the sense that she spoke eloquently enough on something that to me maybe touched her in a way that it may have forever changed her.
Yeah, I hear you. I want to say it to it like this, and I'm going to give it to you with this, Kenny. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King both were coming up in the heart of the civil rights movement. Mm-hmm. But their ideology could not be more different. Mm-hmm. But there was one thing that I have to respect about Malcolm X that I did not see from Martin Luther King. Malcolm X started out with white hate, black supremacy. He then became more aware, more knowledgeable of more truth, and he changed his rhetoric. That is a very humbling moment for me. Now, whatever the case may be, whatever that man did to make her want to say what she got to say, I get it. I've actually been there. Mm-hmm. I don't have a problem speaking my mind about people, but again, it's about growing and maturing and understanding that there are things that I'm probably going to say since I've known y'all that I'll probably cringe when I'm 20 years older now. And I'm like, you so stupid. Why'd you say that? It's just about the maturation process of human beings. And again, she'll learn from this. Whatever she may say, I don't care about that or whatever. I mean, but Kenny, is this going to be more regrettable for her, or is it going to be like whatever?
I mean, I think she might have some regrets, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't have a problem with her doing that. Okay, I really didn't, because I'd rather her speak her truth than to get up there and lie. And we know a whole lot of eulogies and funerals that people get up there and say they make their statements. Good and well that person they talking to was straight trash. So at least she lived in her truth. She can walk up out of there with her head high. Now, will there be some collateral damage? It probably will. I'm sure families is going to be fractured. Mm-hmm. But I guarantee you some of them same family members wanted to say what she said. They just didn't have the guts to say it at that eulogy. So, I know people say it's a time and place for everything, but, what a better time and place to do it than to really speak your truth. You know,
Brenton, Brenton, let me add one last part.
That's my opinion. I ain't have a problem with it.
This is maybe Kenny and I, we are brothers in many ways. The last little thought, I'll be quick, because Brenton said, "Would you say that at the funeral?" I agree with him 1,000%. If not now, when? You know, we always talk about giving people their flowers when they're alive. You know what I'm saying? And this is the very reason why I have it in writing. My sister Sherry knows when I leave this mortal call, I want to be cremated. Funerals are for the living, not for the dead. And the last thing I wanted, while I have some control over my faculties, is a bunch of lying ass sycophants standing over pretending that they knew me and that they gave a damn. My sister was given explicit instructions. We just talked about this the other night. When they find my fat, bloated body in this apartment and they have to call her and she opened this door, raid my liquor cabinets, get me cremated, cost about $3,500, pour my fat ass on the street, drink and be merry and have a good time. All that weeping and moaning for people who don't know me. You don't know me. If I F with you, I F with you and speak the truth. I'm a lot of things. I'm an opinionated SOB and say that.
And to your point, Lamar, I that's the thing we don't know. We don't know if she did say it to him, to his face. And that if I do know that, then I have more respect for that. But at this moment,
and we don't have to say. Right, we don't know the backstory. We don't know their relationship. Obviously, they had a fractured relationship. She could have been abusive to this young lady. We don't know. So she felt like, you know what? I put up with this while he was alive. I'm not gonna sit here and lie at this eulogy. So the hell with what the other family members think, because that's her truth. In my opinion.
But here's the reality for me. If I did say it in their face, I don't have to say it at the funeral.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can see that.
I wouldn't have like that. Yeah, he know who he is. He live in Arlington, and if when he die, just know everybody know how I feel about him. And when he do die, out there, but I ain't gonna have to say nothing because everybody know, because I've already said it to him in his face and everybody around me and asked me about it. So that's the reality. So in my perspective, I think that she didn't say it in his face, because if she did, she got it off her chest.
Right.
You know, do it right there, and then we'll respect the game. Respect the game. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared, because it's kind of little anyway. All right. So yeah, that's where they headed, y'all. Treat your kids right, because they're gonna talk about you when you're gone.
I just want to know how was the repast? Was it some raisins in the potato salad at the repast?
It probably some of that fake meat.
It was her black family that was still alive. They were eating good.
On his dime. His dime.
Yeah,
you're right.
True that.
All right, let's keep it moving, because we got to get into this thing. Digging in folks' business, Devin. You do such a great job. How big is your shovel tonight?
Man, it ain't big at all. It ain't big.
Okay. All right.
Y'all, or maybe y'all better than me. Y'all know all I do is mind my business. And then so somehow stuff just comes across, to me. And the last thing I heard is y'all know Elon just bought Twitter.
Yeah.
For $44 billion. And he recently, when he got Twitter, he had 7,500 employees. Last week, he laid off 3,700 of them. He told them at midnight, you're going to get your employee status. And it was almost like when I tried out for the drill team, you got a letter at the end, and you got a prayer if you didn't make it, and you got like a cheer thing if you did make it.
Okay.
With the employees, and he did this to make up for his bottom line. He's a true, capitalist. So
big time.
Keep in mind that this man is an actual capitalist. I kind of got mixed feelings about it. The whole Twitter thing, that's something totally different. But I'm gonna start with you, Black. What's your initial thought? I'll say that when you think about him laying off more than half of his staff just to cover his own bottom line and making the others work 16-hour days. I was told 6 to 7 days a week to make up the difference.
I actually don't have a problem with it, to be honest with you. I find that organizations, the way they're run today, and it's ironic that we're talking about this. The workplace has changed in such a way that people don't work anymore. And they have such terms now called quiet quitting. where people do just enough. And I find the bigger the organization, the bigger the bloated the organization, and you get to some of those top little positions, they're really not doing anything. They have titles and they walk around and they spend all their time. And so if I'm a billionaire, he didn't invest not to make money. And so I think when he came in and took an initial look, and it probably wasn't even hard to find that we have a bloated situation here. Let me eliminate some of the waste. And oh, by the way, some of you who haven't been working, now you got to earn your paycheck. I think, there's a saying, sometimes it's got to get a little worse before it gets better. I don't have a problem with this whatsoever. And I've said this before. It wouldn't do for me to be a billionaire. I would be petty, vindictive, and all of those things wrapped up in one. I'm okay with it.
Well, Ken, after the layoff, I'm now told he has been reaching out to some of these laid off employees and asking them could they please return. Because now the business is suffering. If you were, John Smith and just got laid off and lost your $250,000 for the severance, are you coming back?
Hell to the no, I ain't coming back. And I could tell him he can let the doorknob hit him with a good Lord split him. No, you done gave me my money, player. I ain't trying to come back to that. That's where he bit his nose off to save his face. I think he just came in there just to. That's what businessmen do. That's what they do, though. Let's be honest with you. Most of the time, they cut people. They could care less about it. But to ask me to come back after you just cut me like that, nah, Devin. Nah, I'm good on that. I'm gonna go spend this severance package. I'll find me something else.
Brenton, but doesn't matter that these people have families and livelihoods. We right before the holidays. You know what I'm saying? They all have ends to meet just like the rest of us. I mean, do you think there should be more outrage about him laying off all of these employees?
Well, unfortunately, I'll say this. It's probably a feeling that they haven't felt as much as we have. Because, I got a homeboy right now. He worked for GM and they'll lay him off in 3 months. Pick him back up in a month and lay him back off again in 6 more months. So that's kind of par for the course down here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So as we look up to Silicon Valley, it's like, oh, hey, let me get you some tissue for that, all that crying, because it's part of life down here.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? To me, it's just, that's where we are. I mean, what they are experiencing is what every middle to lower middle blue collar worker experiences. When something up top happens, the only people that get in trouble is folks at the bottom. And unfortunately, we were just exposed to the truth about capitalism, which is they twisted his arm, made him pay that $44 billion. Well, he gonna get his money back, and it ain't gonna come from Tesla.
Miss Devin, I literally lost my job, my last job, for the very same reason.
I was about to mention you, actually. Yeah.
I literally lost my job for that same reason and was the top performer in my department. But new ownership, they got a $400 million advance. It's a startup company. They came in, they made changes, and without thinking, they laid one Wednesday, went to work, and within a snap of a finger, my email was frozen and everything. Ironically, they asked me to come back. Now the beautiful thing of it is they really did. They really asked some of us to come back afterwards because they realized, oh shit, we made a mistake. But my thing is, pride is a funny thing.
Yes, sir.
Now for me, thank God, I felt like I have enough marketable skills and education and background that I knew I would find something else. But trust and believe, if it came down to my belly hitting my back, I would have went back.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, I guess this is a male thing because I'm all sad for him, ready to start doing GoFundMes and all that stuff. I was gonna say I was hoping some of them are fortunate enough to be like Black and get laid off and be eating crab legs, still buying hoes on the side. But I guess we'll all be nice. Y'all will be all right. Go get food stamps and take it to the system. They say that's your damn fault. You ain't no better than no damn body else. You better get on the child line just like everybody else. Now I'm gonna go back to minding my business and quit feeling sorry for folks.
That's it. And they better not catch you cutting.
Right.
You better don't you cutting that line. Don't you cut that wick line. You better not. You crazy fool. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's keep it going, y'all. Let's get into the big topic of the week, y'all. Friends. All right, Shanquella Robinson. If you hadn't heard, this is the young lady. I mean, it's funny how news travels through social media before it get to the national news. Because I saw it first on the internet, and again, right. This is going to be different, and I think we have to hear from us because everybody gets this. They spin it the way they want to spin it. So, in case you don't know, this young lady, she went to Mexico with a few of her friends. Yeah, that's her. I believe she was a beautician, right? She was a hairstylist.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And so she went there with friends, right? That's me. That's what I'm saying. And the best friend is a dude. I mean, I wish I had about 10 red flags because I'll just be throwing them all over the place. How many of us have them?
Well, exactly, Miss Linda. Yeah.
Definitely not her, right? And so apparently, number one, I'm going to analyze this. She was naked. Number two, you filming. Nobody films a fight unless they know a fight is about to happen. Yeah, Bam, it was really sad. That's number one. Nobody's going to be naked getting into a fight if they know they finna fight. It's number two. Number three, you don't go on a trip with people that's supposed to be your friends if you know before you leave that y'all got bad blood. That's number three. There's so many dynamics in this situation for me. Like, because her father said something since they laid her to rest and how upset he was. I don't want to get into how I don't want to start Monday morning quarterback in that situation. But they came after they lied and said that she had alcohol poisoning. They was able to fly back from Mexico. They went to the mama's house. That should have been their time of death when they walked into that house. Okay. All right. Anyway, I'll keep it moving because I got a lot to say about this. Number one, to my unproven internet youngsters who have not earned their wisdom, your friends are not people that you go out of town with and you've only known them a short time. If y'all getting into it on this soil, well, you definitely don't want to go overseas somewhere with them or across the water with them. Okay, you don't do that. I'm reminded of the movie The Lord of the Flies. Okay, so I start there, but Brother Kenny, what you think about this?
Man, I've seen quite a few stories that really pissed me off. This one right here is probably is definitely one or two. For these so-called friends, they were frenemies. For them to get their butts back to American soil and to lie to this young lady's mother about how she died. Just first of all, to leave her there. If you her friends, to leave her there.
It's just so much to talk
That
about. Yeah.
that first of all, they're horrible individuals. And now, you change your numbers, you ain't responding to texts, so there's guilt on all of them. Ms. Williams says, I hope every one of them get extradited back to Mexico and put in a Mexican prison forever. Everyone that was there, not one person tried to stop the fight. The mama says she grew up with them. Again, just because they're your friends, they ain't your friends. Just because they with you, don't mean they with you. And I just made a post about that. I think this is a horrible tragedy. And be careful. Everybody ain't your friend, man. This is just a horrible story, man, all the way around. And my heart goes out to her family, for real.
This story for me is going to be like a life-changing story, almost like some of the other stories, like the Rodney King situation. Although we didn't see this big riot, I need my young people to understand this. Your friends should never start off at 100. You got to start them off at 0. And then they earn these ranks this time. How did it escalate? Yeah, exactly. I mean, in my opinion, you don't go there like without knowing that y'all either in a good space or not. Hey, Miss Sherry, good to see you. Some people
Hey,
use
what's up,
friends
Sherry?
loosely in this day and time, especially young people. Exactly. And this is my thing here. Let me give y'all some earned wisdom, right here. Listen to your parents and let your parents see your friends first, and they'll tell you a little bit about what you don't know. Like my kids ain't taking no trips with somebody if I don't even know you. If I ain't never seen them, they just ain't going. Especially if I'm paying your bills, nah, you just ain't going. Right? It just don't work like that. Black, here it is for me. You know, friends. You don't have a best friend after 2 years. You just don't have that. Like it takes time. Like one thing I have with the people that I've been with for 30 plus years, like you don't like there can't be nobody coming in here soon and being like, hey man, we bet. No, my best friends, I've been knowing them since I was 13. Right, that you can't never replace that. Like you gotta put some time in between. Like you gotta piss some people off first so you can see how they act, and then we get to that. I mean, go ahead, Black, speak on it, man.
So you're 1,000% right, and I could harp on that. This is a tragedy at the highest levels for me, and it's sad, but for more reasons than nobody's talking about. I could easily sit around and talk about the tragedy of friends like we talk about, but this younger generation, they don't think that way. Number one, they don't have a value for life. It's unfortunate because you know they grow up with this mentality: you only live once, and a lot of them don't expect to make it past 30 anyway. You know, it speaks to the callousness of how they value life, that a bunch of friends could leave her in Mexico. You know, where everybody on this panel, I think, come from a generation. We have a little saying that as soon as I started, we came together,
We're gonna leave
leaving
together.
together. That's
Yeah.
what we
Leave
were
together.
raised with, that
Yeah.
mentality. But I'm gonna stop. I could go there. Let me tell you why it's tragic for me. You said at the beginning, Brother Brenton. Why didn't this story make national headlines?
Mhm.
Why did it take social media for it to be discovered? I heard this story from my niece who saw it off of TikTok. And before they took the full video down, millions of young people were sharing this video and all this tragedy, because it's a long video of how they beat this young girl senseless to the point where they broke her neck and her spine. The one that was slinging around, that was a man, y'all. These were transgender, different types of people. I'm not transgender people don't come for you on this one, but this was a man fighting a woman. In case y'all don't know that.
What?
So when he was slinging, that was not a girl with the wig on. That was a man slinging her around by her hair, while the other guy was in the room saying, "You ain't going to even fight back." But I'm not even going there with the tragedy.
Right.
I'm not even going. Why did it take social media for us to even be talking about this? I'm angry, and I'm keeping my anger on the check because there's a few things in America you don't mess with: a white woman, pets, or white children. But you want to talk about Black Lives Matter? Where are you now? Where's the organization now? Why isn't Good on America, Today's Show? Why isn't Oprah and the rest of them talking about this story? This story is being driven by social media, and it's only making this amount of noise is because the mama using social media to get the FBI involved. Why does it take the FBI to get involved when, if this was a missing white girl, it'd be on night and day till we found her, till we brought justice to it? This is a tragedy at a much higher level for me because of what it represents. And so I wish I could sit here and tell you that this is the last time this is going to happen and this is going to spark. No, it's not. It's par for the course. And it tells you what America thinks of us. And anybody don't think I'm American. I'm pro-American. I promise you I am. But I'm going to say again, we have not been living up to our greatness, and we're not even close to our greatness. And I can't believe in greatness until it's great for everybody. But we got the same old tired things playing out right in front of our eyes, folks. And until the next tragedy comes along, this is where we will be. And that's why I'm angry.
Okay, so Britt said that the transgender thing may be a rumor, Black. So I don't know. So we'll at least make that statement. This is also what I want to say, Devin, and I'm gonna give it to you. Here is the unadulterated truth. I've seen those type of fights on World Star, I don't know, maybe 10 times a day, and it doesn't bother me because I'm used to seeing people fight. That's a normal thing for our culture now. Like, not even just Black culture. Like, World Star is a thing because fools fight. Right? Like, nobody gets upset when we see people fighting, even when you see somebody get hurt. But the problem is the story behind this moment is what the issue is, right? Because, and then shout out to Kyrie, right? Because even to your point, Black, it's like you said, nobody's making headline. I mean, nobody's making this a priority or a thing, but at least Kyrie is putting his money where his mouth is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you said something happened after that video. Well, like, tell us what happened. I don't know what happened. So, Devin, to your point, I don't want us to miss the fact that it's not. I don't want nobody to think that I got a problem with somebody fighting. I don't got a problem with somebody fighting. I enjoy looking at fools fight. I got a problem with what went down because it could have been prevented. Like, in my opinion, I would have never let her go. Even if she is grown, we would have been fighting. You know what I'm saying? So, go ahead, sister. Give us your perspective.
First of all, I think it's very sad. She was a very young girl, and I think the people that are involved should definitely be held accountable. But can I give y'all a little bit of moment of honesty, because I've watched a few videos on it. I think it was overlooked and people didn't care much because I think they did put them in a different class of people. You know, the backstory that I heard was allegedly the person that beat her up was upset because she had done something before they came that led to the death of that person's cousin. So this is what they kind of have going on, if that makes sense to you. Because I don't run in groups of people where we fist fight each other and carry on and then we move on like it was nothing. And I didn't watch the whole video. I could only watch very little of it. Toria said exactly it would be on CNN and Fox, every local news across the country, just like all the missing Black people. But I think it's because they put them in a different, group of individuals. And then I saw a video after the fact of one of the guys that supposedly was involved saying he had just gotten there. I hadn't even had a chance to smoke a blunt or to have a drink or nothing yet. Like, who talks like that after their friend, is killed? And he's like, I'm the one who found her. She was laid over the toilet in the bathroom, and he called the nurse to come and take her and all this other stuff. They just don't act like anybody I would be on a, you know what I'm saying? I went on a girls trip recently with like 20 girls, classmates and things of that nature. And we all had moments, but it never came to that, So I think that people lump certain folks into a category and they disregard them. And I'm loving that it got all this media attention, because people have to know that these behaviors just are not okay. And as far as the friend stuff, I think every Black mother in the world has told their kids, that ain't none of your friend. You ain't got no friends. I'm your friend. You quit trusting people. You quit, and you say these things to kids over and over again, but they don't always listen, you know what I'm saying? And they left her and they lied because they knew they were all in trouble, and they probably thought they got away with it because it was in Mexico. Sherry is saying what got me is they just left her there dead, cold-hearted. I mean, it's horrible. The whole situation is horrible, and I'm hoping this was a awakening moment for a lot of young people who carry on with this foolishness and this behavior, and it's just unacceptable to do stuff like this and to be filming it like it's cute. Everybody wants to grab a phone. It just gets on my nerves. So I'm hoping this will the behavior of many other young people who think that this drinking, fighting, and carrying on and shooting and stuff is okay. It's not okay.
So let's tumble through again. I'm going to tumble through our culture. Here's the reality about the hood. You know your friends, fine. Pull out the cameras. I got it. People want to see. But when it's your partner, you put your phone down, and at least, okay, here, let's respect the game for what it is. If it's a legit fight, when you see one person conceding and like stopping, all right, the hood say, all right, y'all, that's enough. we break it up.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
We say, okay, all right, we stop them. We pull it off. You got it out your system, fine, we done. She don't want to fight. That's what the hood do if it's legit. This was foul. This was beyond like you said, Black, when we go together, we lead together. It was foul. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna just tell you, listen, y'all might want to just go on and go to jail because y'all don't want the streets to do right by this. Because the streets do right by stuff at times, especially
I almost promise you, the streets they trying to figure out a way. Promise you,
Say, I just think about the amount of pain she must have went through to have a broken neck and severed spine. Yeah, again, we've all seen fights. We've all laughed at them. I mean, we do that, but the problem is the people that are involved. That's my issue. Like, if you don't care, like, don't label them as best friend. Like, no, if I don't know my kid's best friend, then that ain't your best friend. That's just
right.
If they've never sat in my living room at least 10 times and they know me by name, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's not your best friend. My only issue is how they've labeled them in their relationship. Now, if y'all just strangers, y'all in Mexico, and then she get beat up like that because something went down. Okay, that world star, I get it. But the relationship
right. And the reports are saying that she, Shanquella, she funded the whole trip. According to some reports I read, she paid for everything, for the Airbnb they were staying,
out of here.
all of it. Yeah, from a report I read. Yeah, so they didn't even pay for nothing. So
let's hope it's true that people can really hunt folks. Let's just hope that's true, because she needs to hunt all of them. They need to see her every night before they go to sleep.
Right.
Yeah. All right, we got anything else on this? Because there's so much to talk about.
I think it's going to keep developing. We'll hear more,
and we'll definitely follow up on this. We'll definitely follow up on this. We just got to do better. Again, at teaching our kids. This is a lesson that did not have to be learned. But again, like I said, our kids are not earning their wisdom. They're not. They're cheating the system. It's stuff like this that makes me believe in vigilante justice. Well, it got to be worth it for me. And again, that's why you got to have homies on all sides. Like, you got to know who to get that bag at dime sack to go on and just take care of business. You know what I'm saying? It's looking to go back to jail. Lamb has a villa that stayed at. Okay. Oh, this. Okay. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. All right, y'all. Well, that's it on that. And again, we'll keep following up on this thing. All right. So listen, y'all. We did it last week, and we're gonna do it again. And I made it through without burping. See?
Yeah.
So I ain't ghetto this week.
Good job.
All right. Anyway, so listen, Thanksgiving is Thursday. I hope everybody enjoys. And listen, for those that don't know how to cook, go over somebody's house. Matter of fact, there's some people offering free food if you know what I'm saying, if you don't feel like cooking. So last week we did sides. I want to do the main dish, the protein. Are you turkey, ham, brisket, ribs? What do you have to see at the dinner table before you fix your plate, Kenny?
Man, I'll be honest with you. I don't even really. Turkey and ham ain't really my thing no more. I eat it more so turkey, but I would rather have something totally non-traditional like brisket or something.
Oh yeah, some salmon, some spam. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute, hold up, not the damn spam, bro.
Okay. I'll trip. All right, I'm tripping. Devin, I know you say you a closet. I almost said, Lord, that's amazing how words just run together, just make closet vegetarian. Yes,
I normally. Because you just said that, actually, I just usually load up on all the sides. I would make a turkey and a ham for the people who, want to eat it, but I may take a bite or just get a piece for the taste. But I really I love all the sides. I do.
Okay. Okay. Well, you know, some of them they put some of them folks put that turkey in them greens now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, in my greens, you will. There, of course, there's a ham hock in my greens, so I cook with the meat.
Right.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Straight protein,
Okay.
but yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. You said some words then, I believe you. All right. I'm about to come over there. All right. Now listen, do you clean chitlins?
I do not eat chitlins. I do not eat the dookie shoots. I do not eat dookie shoots.
Nah, I'm
You
good
would
on
have
Me,
that.
me,
40
me
years, 60
neither.
years ago. Y'all would have.
Yeah.
You didn't have no
Boo-boo
choice
noodles
60
for
years
me.
ago.
Y'all,
Me,
we
me.
free now. We ain't gotta eat that shit.
You ain't
No
got to eat that no more.
Y'all eat lobster, and that used to be the
I
trend.
don't eat lobster.
I
Oh,
do.
okay.
Oh.
No,
They used to.
you know he eat the lobster.
Yeah, well, we know you. We know you.
All right, Black. What's your meat of choice?
Ham for me when I think of Thanksgiving.
Sure.
I know everybody thinks traditional turkey. The ham is the thing for me because it's reminiscent of the way my mom used to do it. Now, of course, I can't do it that way, but I think about the amount of time and love that went into watching her take a ham with the pineapples on it and the toothpicks and the cherries on there
Yep.
and just the season and I mean literally the time that pulling it out and putting the basting the juice over it. It was made with so much love and it's just melting your mouth. So of course I can't do that, but I am looking forward to doing a ham. But I've been invited to my sister-in-law's and they want me to bring my salmon dish. I'm not going this year. I'm going to do nothing. But I make a dish called Marry Me Chicken, and I'll substitute salmon. It is magnificent. It's some of the best thing you can ever eat, and that's what they want me to bring. But in this economy, it would cost me about $70 to feed them jokers, and I'm not doing it.
Shame on you.
I
Paying
saw the
attention.
cuss, but
I hear
no.
you. Yes, I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I know.
I
He
appreciate
pumped the
it.
brakes. Okay,
I appreciate
yeah.
it, brother. Well, I listen. I do enjoy all of the proteins. I will say the honey baked ham is the one. My first time eating honey baked ham, I never want ham without that crusty cinnamon sugar topping. I gotta fold that meat over that crust, man, and just
Yes.
taste that thing. So yeah, I know I'm going to hell, you Hebrew Israelites, for eating pork, but whatever. Your mama is too. So
Oh man.
Whoa.
whoa, you wouldn't have got here without her eating. Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, y'all. So listen, I want y'all to enjoy y'all Thanksgiving. Eat whatever you're gonna eat and just enjoy it. What you say? That's why my brother, you and I got ham belly.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. All right. Oh man. So fantastic. Y'all listen, we are up to the one of the best times of this show, man. We have done a great job and I appreciate it. So I'm gonna let my brother go and close it out. What you got, man?
A rose by any other name is still a rose,
Still a
as they
rose.
say. Now, I was prepared to wax poetically and show y'all the benefits of an education. The organic nature of this show made me change my direction. The topic of Shanquella made me change my direction and where I was going to go with this. The reality is I was going to talk about how a disturbing trend is emerging where we can't call a spade anymore, as they say. And example today of how they're bashing Drake because he doesn't happen to agree with the account of Megan Thee Stallion. Chris Brown on Sunday's show, his performance got canceled because they're still holding it against him with the Rihanna thing. We know that Lizzo calling her fat is fat shaming, you know, and the comedian that did that, he suffered a far greater fate than the other comedian, even though she did some wrong too. Kanye, Kyrie. If you really examine what they said, was it really wrong? Or was it that or who they were talking about? So whether it's politics, religion, whatever, we can't say things anymore. The great Beyonce got in trouble and now they lit her up for her last album because of a lyric she said that was ableist, they called it, and it was horrific and all these other things. The lyric she said the word spaz, and that's so horrific. And but the Shanquella story made me turn left because even when I was talking about that story, I was quickly corrected that, oh no, don't you say transgenders, and that might be right. And I'm not attacking that, but you know what it says to me? There are certain key words that are so off limits that the moment you say them, you are in trouble. Dave Chappelle can tell you all about that. And it just speaks of how dangerously close we are to being censored in terms of who we are. And that's disturbing because, folks, when did we lose sight of being able to call a spade a spade? Now, you're right. Maybe they weren't transgenders, but we can all agree that there were men in that room while that young lady was being spent around. Now, you can call them whatever you want to call them. So maybe the alphabet people don't like us talking about them. But last time I checked, if a woman was getting beat in a room and men were standing around, ain't no way in hell that should have happened.
Right.
So whatever label you want to put on them, they stood around and allowed it to happen. And right there on this weekend too, we had a horrible shooting in a transgender nightclub. On my job today, guess what we had to spend time doing? Going to a crisis greeting meeting, because you bet not dare hurt that population. So you can't speak out against Asians, transgenders. You can't say the word gay. Can't call anybody retarded anymore. Better not say faggot. But you can still say nigga. You can still call somebody a bitch. And if you and hoes can call themselves hoes, but you call them a hoe. I digress. Folks, a rose by any other name is still a rose. And I'm saying that in the interest of time.
Yeah, this doggone.
Are you crazy? Yes, sir.
Went down through there, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Listen, boy, you need to knit you a sweater from that one, because Doc, you was in there weaving and bobbing. Yes, sir. Miss Toria, you're really gonna eat good this week. I sure appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Yeah,
for real.
Miss Linda, how we do this today? Before we get out of here, just let me know as we do these final thoughts. But man, I hear what you're saying, Black, and again, they're gonna be handing out demerits on little machines in the restroom as you say bad words. We just waiting on it, right? Victoria says, "I am clapping for you, Mr. Black." All right.
That's what's up,
ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for giving us your attention to hear what we have to say about these very serious topics. But hope that we have entertained you, that you have enjoyed your time here, and we appreciate you being on. But it's final thoughts time. So we will start with my brother Kenny. Give me your final thoughts, my brother.
Oh man,
thank you, Miss Linda.
Man, always a pleasure to be with the fam on Monday nights. I must say, brother Black, I'm not giving you a demerit. Thank you, Miss Linda, because you let a couple of them slip there during the end, but they fit. They fit with the message. Yeah. So
that's it.
I'm gonna give you a pass tonight on that one, brother. Thank you, Bama girl. Appreciate you. I want to say, man, give thanks. I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet. Give thanks, everybody. Whatever you decide to do, even if you decide to do nothing, just be thankful for life. Let's be honest with you. The last 2 years has been kind of a little bumpy road for all of us. And 2022 has been a little bumpy. So I just want to say thanks. I'm thankful for these three wonderful people that I share this screen with. And I'm thankful for all the guests, the commenters that came in and showing us love. So I just want to give thanks. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Sherry. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Much love back to you. My sister, always a pleasure.
Thank you. Very quickly, I also want to say that I'm very thankful for you guys. And I want to say to everyone watching this, including you, is although all of us have been through some things and we all have hardships that we don't speak of, but I just want you to keep in mind that we all have something to be thankful for. Especially if you compare yourselves to others, we always have something to be thankful for. And one thing that I've learned and I've started to try to do is hard is manifesting. You have to speak positivity into yourselves, and you have to speak positivity into others. And if you do that to yourself daily, positive affirmations, you know what I'm saying? It makes you feel better. It makes you feel like you're going to accomplish the goals. And you really have to speak that over you, because nobody's going to take care of you like you. So I just want everybody to know that, you know what I'm saying? No matter what you're going through, you always have something to be thankful for, and let's manifest those good thoughts. And I'm not watching no football, the Packers.
That's why I knew I love you, Miss Linda. You come on, you come on back in here. You hear? You come on back in here.
That's it.
Straight up. Don't pay no mind to that Cowboy fan right there.
DC,
Well, listen, I know y'all are really thankful that I have a mute button, right? Because
yes, I forgot to say that.
No, you don't
Thank
forget
you.
nothing. No. Yeah. So, all right, Black, let me have it, man. What's your final thoughts, brother?
Mine is short. Like everybody else, we won't see each other probably for the holiday, but I just want to thank you guys for being family. You are my peace in the quiet storm in many ways that y'all probably would never know. I love each and every last one of you, and not just the faces on the screen. I live for coming here to get juiced up on, the commentary from the watchers of TFG, and so I want to encourage everybody, as we always say, be thankful, but use social media. We use this for effery and foolishness. Use it for something good over this holiday. Reach out to each other. Tell each other that you give everybody their flowers while they're here, because, people don't last forever. So reach out to one another, even though we can't be there in the flesh. Say hello, share a song, share a laugh. Use this social media thing in a way. It don't have to be all bad. For the young viewers out there, some of us old people are cool too. I love what Brother Brenton said. Even though you haven't earned your wisdom, you got time. You got time. Hang around some of us older folks. We're not as bad as you think.
That's it, man.
That's right. That's right.
We'll keep y'all out of some of this trouble y'all be getting in.
For
y'all
real.
remember that sheep? Anyway, I'm gonna take a rabbit hole. Okay. We'll pull you back out. All right, so listen, here's my final thought. Y'all remember White Men Can't Jump?
Yes, sir.
Do y'all remember what Wesley Snipes told Woody he couldn't do?
He couldn't hear.
He couldn't dunk. He told
I
me
thought he was talking about it. He couldn't hear who was the jazz guy or whatever.
Oh, you're right. Yes. Yeah. No, you're right. He did that, but
he definitely told me he couldn't dunk.
He told him, he said, "Hey, you can't dunk." And remember, he bet the money, and got mad at him because he lost the money. So my question to you guys: what has somebody told you couldn't do, and you proved them wrong?
Oh wow!
I know. I'm sorry, I'm getting deep, but it's Thanksgiving week.
Pride.
Right?
You feel proud.
Okay, they told you couldn't do something. No, I'm saying, what is it like? If somebody ever told you can't do that, and you proved them wrong.
My ex-husband told me another man would never want me with 3 kids and at my age.
Wow.
All right, honey.
Wow.
I mean, shoot, I guess nobody needs to say nothing after that.
Yeah, we can't top that.
Yeah, we can't top that. Yeah, that didn't age well at all for your ex-husband. So I can't top that at all. I can't top that. I don't know what else to say behind that.
Okay, well, let's just show the video then. Maybe this is her ex-husband. I don't know.
Is he gonna try the lunge?
Go on then. 1, 2, 3, go. Dave.
I wish.
He might have made it, but he hesitated at the end.
That's the whole point.
You wish? Did you say you wish, Devin? She said she wished.
Listen, on behalf of Devin and everybody else, listen, don't matter what nobody said about you. If you put your mind to it and whatever else Devin did to get her man, just know.
All his friends were in my inbox that same week, so it's okay.
I mean, man, can somebody tag him in this? Whoever know Devin is, I mean, honey,
it's a little hot in here.
The shade, no, he did not. I know you proved him wrong. Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, whoever tries to prove you wrong, just put in the work and the grind to prove them, to make sure that you prove yourself right. And that's all that matters. But I will say this: that man still proved that Wesley was right. White men can't.
Always bet on black.
Linda said my husband told me that too. Yeah. So, all right. So just so y'all know, get it right. But we have finally proven the fact that white men can't jump. All right.
And that brother Brent know how to use the mute button. He didn't burp this week. So yeah,
good
he
job.
proved us wrong.
And he's a